Hello. At this age, you and I both understand that health is the most valuable asset we have. Every meal, every little habit in the kitchen has a direct impact on the body, even though sometimes we don't realize it. There are seemingly harmless things, such as putting everything in the refrigerator for better preservation, but it can actually have the opposite effect. It reduces nutrients, makes food spoil faster, and even affects our digestion, immunity, and memory. Therefore, in today's video, I will share with you 3 types of food that should never be kept in the refrigerator, and conversely, 3 types must be kept cold if you want to keep all the nutritional value and protect your health. This is simple knowledge, but many of us older people are misunderstanding it or have never paid attention to it. So, let's follow along with me to the end of the video. Maybe just a small change today can help you live healthier, happier, and more secure every day. Now, let's get started. 3 foods that should not be stored in the refrigerator. 1. Peanut butter. Don't keep it in the fridge if you want to protect your hands and heart. Did you know that storing peanut butter in the refrigerator can have many negative health effects, especially for older people? While we often think that storing everything in the refrigerator will help keep things longer, this is not the case with peanut butter. When placed in a cold environment, the natural oil in peanut butter will solidify. This makes the texture of the butter hard, difficult to scoop, especially for those with joint problems, arthritis, or weak hand strength, a common condition in older people. Opening the lid, taking out the butter, and spreading it on the bread also becomes an unnecessary, strenuous task. Not only that, but cold temperatures also accelerate the oxidation of healthy fats in peanut butter, causing them to be transformed, losing a large amount of natural vitamin E. This is an important vitamin that helps protect the heart and supports brain activity, 2 extremely important organs for the elderly. Lastly, what cannot be ignored is the dining experience. Peanut butter left at room temperature will taste greasy, fragrant, and much easier to eat. When cold, the taste fades, making it difficult to swallow, making the meal less attractive and affecting the mood. Ideally, you should store peanut butter in a cool, dry place, out of the fridge, to keep all the nutrition and joy in each daily meal. 2. Onions. I thought it was good to keep them in the refrigerator, but they are harmful to health and reduce nutrition. You may think that leaving onions in the refrigerator will help preserve them longer, avoiding spoilage. But in fact, storing onions in the refrigerator does more harm than good, especially for the health of older adults. First, the refrigerator is a humid and cold environment. This makes it easy for onions to become soft, mushy, and moldy quickly. When onions are damp, harmful bacteria and fungi are easy to grow, thereby increasing the risk of digestive disorders if you don't detect them and continue to use them. For the elderly, the digestive system is inherently weak, which can significantly affect health. Second, onions contain a very valuable active ingredient called quercetin, a natural anti-inflammatory substance which has been shown to be beneficial for the heart and bones and joints. However, when storing onions at low temperatures and in the humid environment of the refrigerator, the quercetin content in onions can be significantly reduced. That is, you think you're eating healthy food, but you're not actually getting the full benefits from it. Finally, onions have a pretty strong smell. When placed in the refrigerator, this smell is very easy to spread to other foods, causing milk, fruit, or leftover dishes in the cabinet to smell and lose their natural flavor. This not only reduces appetite, but also causes discomfort during cooking. Ideally, you should store onions in a cool, dry place away from sunlight and out of the refrigerator. This will retain their freshness, nutrients, and natural taste. 3. Bananas. Don't keep them in the fridge if you want to keep their nutritional value. Do you often put bananas in the fridge to keep them fresh longer? This may sound reasonable, but it actually does more harm than good. Especially for us older people, when the body needs to absorb the maximum amount of nutrients from food. Bananas are tropical fruits that are very sensitive to cold temperatures. When stored in the refrigerator, bananas are susceptible to a phenomenon called cold damage. This causes the natural enzymes in the fruit to stop working, slowing down the natural ripening process, causing the banana to lose its characteristic sweet and fragrant flavor and become bland. Not only that, but some of the beneficial compounds in bananas, such as dopamine and catechins, antioxidants that are good for the heart and brain, are also broken down or significantly reduced. In addition, the banana stalks, when exposed to cold, are often subject to water vapor, creating conditions for mold and bacteria to grow. With a weaker immune system in the elderly, ingesting bananas is somewhat moldy, potentially affecting digestion and overall health. So, what is the right way to preserve? It's very simple. Leave the bananas at room temperature, avoid direct sunlight, and limit them to close together to slow down the ripening process. If you have too many ripe bananas at once and are afraid that you won't eat them in time, you can peel them and freeze them in an airtight container. This method not only retains nutrients, but can also be used as a smoothie or cooking later. With just a small change in storage, you can help your body absorb more benefits from this familiar fruit. Next, we will talk about 3 foods that must be refrigerated. 1. Cooked meat and leftovers. Be careful not to harm your health. My dear friend, maybe you're just like me. I don't want to waste food. When we are done cooking, we usually keep the leftovers for the next meal. However, there is a very important thing that many people often overlook. Cooked meat and leftovers should never be left out for more than 2 hours. Why is that? Because after that period of time, bacteria begin to multiply rapidly, especially dangerous types such as Listeria or Salmonella. These bacteria may not be immediately harmful to young people, but for older people like us, with weaker immune systems, the consequences can be severe. The worrying thing is that when older people are infected, the symptoms are often unclear. It could be just a slight fever or a feeling of fatigue or confusion, easily mistaken for the usual signs of old age. But if not treated in time, it can lead to dehydration, weakness, and even hospitalization. Therefore, to protect your health, please note the following. After cooking, the food should be allowed to cool quickly. It can be divided into plates or placed near a fan, not left in the air for more than 2 hours. Place in an airtight container and store in the refrigerator. Leftovers should be used up within 3-4 days. If you still haven't used it after that time, boldly throw it away to avoid unnecessary risks. Your health is precious. With just a little attention in preserving your food every day, you can protect yourself from potential dangers that many people don't expect. Let's live healthier and more secure together with each meal, friends. 2. Dairy products. Good for health, but don't be careless when storing. Milk, cheese, yogurt, familiar foods in daily meals, especially for the elderly. They provide valuable nutrients, such as calcium, protein, vitamin D, help strengthen bones, support digestion, and strengthen immunity. However, it is worth noting that dairy products are also extremely sensitive to temperature and storage environments. If not stored properly, they can become an ideal place for bacteria to multiply, and that can seriously harm your health. When dairy products are left at room temperature or in a very hot environment, bacteria such as E. coli, Listeria, or Salmonella easily grow. For older adults, the immune system has declined over time, so the risk of food poisoning is even higher. You may experience symptoms such as diarrhea, bloating, and abdominal pain. More seriously, the consumption of spoiled milk or bacterial infections can also cause arthritis, inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, exacerbating existing chronic diseases. Therefore, the simplest way to protect health is to always store dairy products in the refrigerator at a temperature below 4 degrees Celsius. After use, please close the lid tightly to prevent bacteria from entering from the outside. Also, don't forget to double-check the expiration date on the packaging. Don't try to use it if the product is past its expiration date, even if it looks fine. A little care every day will help you avoid many unnecessary risks and keep the nutritional benefits of these familiar dishes. 3. Green leafy vegetables such as spinach, kale, lettuce are extremely nutritious foods and bring many health benefits, especially for the elderly. These vegetables are rich in folate, vitamin K, lutein, and many other important nutrients that help maintain heart health, protect brain function, and strengthen resistance and protect the eyes. However, if not stored properly, their nutritional benefits can be lost quickly. One of the common mistakes that many people easily make is leaving green leafy vegetables at room temperature for too long. When left in high temperatures and humid environments, vegetables begin to wilt and gradually lose nutrients. In particular, when green leafy vegetables are not stored in cold conditions, bacteria such as E. coli and Listeria can thrive, endangering health, especially for people with weak immune systems, such as the elderly. Just leave green leafy vegetables outside for a few hours, and important nutrients such as folate and vitamin K can be impaired, affecting the body's ability to protect against diseases. In addition, the growth of bacteria in vegetables can lead to food poisoning or serious digestive problems, causing unwanted health consequences. A simple solution to storing leafy greens is to always place them in the vegetable compartment of the refrigerator, which helps to keep them fresh for a long time and protect the nutrients. Before putting vegetables in the refrigerator, wrap them in a clean paper towel to absorb excess moisture, which will prevent the vegetables from getting wet and spoiling quickly. This will keep the vegetables fresh, nutritious, and limit the growth of harmful bacteria. Proper care and storage will help you stay healthy and enjoy delicious dishes from green leafy vegetables every day. The general message I want to give you. For the elderly, it is extremely important to pay attention to how to store food. As we age, the body's immune system weakens, making us susceptible to small changes in our diet or improper food storage habits. A small mistake in the storage of food can lead to serious consequences, affecting our health. In particular, the use of the refrigerator, where we often think of it as absolute safety, is not always right if we do not know how to use it correctly. If stored incorrectly, the refrigerator not only reduces the nutrients of food, but can also be harmful, creating a favorable environment for bacteria or mold to grow, causing food poisoning. For older people, health and quality of life depend not only on delicious food, but also on how we store food properly. A few small changes in storage habits can have long-term benefits. For example, instead of refrigerating onions, transfer them to a dry basket in a cool place. This will help preserve freshness and prevent mold growth. Or, marking the time of leftovers in the refrigerator is also a simple way to protect your health, helping you know which dishes to eat right away to avoid food spoilage or loss of nutrients. Small actions like these can make a big difference in protecting your health. So, take care of your food storage habits. Simple changes in your daily routine will help you maintain your health, avoid unnecessary diseases, and live a long, healthy life. Thank you for watching our share. Thank you very much and wish you good health. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow more useful videos for you.